Hello everyone, I'm Shan, and today I'll be bringing you along with me to do some reading journal exploration. For context, this is my first time setting up a reading journal. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out what works for me, and that's kind of what this year is going to be / has been. Because honestly, this journal is a little bit of a mess. It's a little bit of a mess, but I'm just trying to figure out what I want to get from a reading journal and figuring out how to make it easy for me to use. So I went with this very inexpensive craft journal. I think it's worked really well. Honestly, I feel like I prefer this because I can also decorate the cover of it to my liking. So as you can see here, I put pages kind of underneath, and then a little bit of calligraphy, some stickers, tape. I chose this because I wasn't sure how much I would use and if I would actually continue reading journaling, but actually I really liked it. So I'm going to continue it. I feel like this might last until probably July, and then I'll probably use the exact same notebook and just kind of make a part 2. I'm gonna kind of talk through what I found that I've liked and things I may or may not keep, or I might change with the next reading journal. Starting off with the title page. Actually, this page was completely blank for the longest time, and it's kind of being used as a bit of like a just stick random things onto it, doodle random things onto it, whatever. I don't look at this page that often, to be honest. Next up is my index. For this, I stuck this on because I wasn't sure that this index would be big enough for this entire journal, but I have a feeling I might only use about this much of this page, but whatever. What's done is done. And over here I have my monthly books read and also the average star score that I gave each one, like the general average book. I think it would be nice though going forward to do like the books read, completed, and then also looking at how many books I started, because some of these books, like for May for example, one of the books I started, I started it in April, and I'm pretty sure I read most of it in April, but I only finished it at the start of May. So okay, so this next page I put my personal library. So these are all the books that I own physically, and as you can see, I never got down to filling it all out. I actually counted all the books I had and then drew this, and I was going to fill it in, but then I got really lazy, so I kind of went out the window. Now next is a series tracker. So this, I like the idea of it, but I don't think it's super suitable for me as a reader. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't really read as many series anymore, or a lot of the times I read the first book and I'm just not really that interested in continuing it. So I don't actually have that many series I want to track. So this is, I wouldn't say it's a spread I use very, very often, but this keeps track of all of my ebooks because I am predominantly an ebook reader. I usually read on my phone. A lot of my reading hours comes from when I commute. So when I'm on the train or on the bus, that's usually when I'd pull out my phone and start reading instead of like scrolling through Instagram or whatever. Yeah, these are all the ebooks that I have on my phone. And I've colored in the ones that I've read, so I can kind of keep track of what I haven't read. Okay, so now we're getting into the actual parts I use the most. So first is the reading log. I've just done one page because my hard reading goal for 2025 is 25 books. So this is like I definitely want to hit this number this year. And as you can see, I'm quite on track, being last day of May, and I'm on 19 books. Here I just tracked the book name, the author, pages, the date I completed it, and my rating out of 10. And I was thinking of doing this as a double page spread, but I decided I wanted to just fill this out first, and then I'd make another page down the track with like reading log continued, and then I just continue this and continue it from 35, blah, blah, blah. My intention was basically, reading log here. I'd probably highlight it if I made it continued, so I just have an idea of where everything is, and just write like reading log continued, just because I prefer that, because if I didn't end up reading more than 35 books, I'd find that I don't like wasting pages, so I prefer to just like use an index and just kind of like continue it and highlight to be like these two are the same. And then it goes into the reviews. I've written the title, the author's name, I've stuck a little cover on it, and I've given a rating, and I've just written my thoughts on the book. When I started this, I wanted my reading journal to be a way to remember how I felt about books if I read it back in retrospect. So much of this is very much stream of consciousness. Thanks, Virginia Woolf. Stream of consciousness, like, because I know a lot of people kind of backlog their reading journals and their reviews, but for me, I feel like I can't do that because I just forget about the book, or like I forget the feeling. And so I feel like I have to write this in the day I finish it or the day after, like sometime very close where the book is very fresh in my mind. But yeah, I found that an entire page, because I was going to do 1 page each book, but I found that for books that I didn't rate that highly, 1 page was honestly too much because I didn't have a lot to write about them. So as you can see, I kind of decorated these because I didn't know what else to put here, and it looked super empty. So when I got to my next couple of books, they're all half pages. So I'd write the title and I just kind of rant. So with all the Mistborns, or anything that I've given 8 stars, I've given a whole page to just rant about, because there's a lot of things that I like to talk about when I've given like a high score. So yes, that's that. When I wrote this for Mistborn and for Hello Beautiful, I wanted it to be more structured, and so I was thinking of developing some sort of system. So this is what I typically consider when I'm reading books, fictional books. So plot, and then I think of emotional values, characters, relationships, writing style, and pacing. So I kind of wrote this after I read these 2. And then I read Educated, and I was using this, and then I realized I can't use this because this is a non-fiction book. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a mess, an experimental mess, as I like to say. I kind of wrote some considerations and then just like a general blab. So I still want to keep a portion of stream of consciousness, but I also want to consider these little things. So I actually made a new acronym. This is my new like fictional book rating system. I'm not going to like rate each out of 5. These are just things I want to kind of keep in mind when I write this stuff. Just be like, oh, what did I think about the story? What did I think about blah, 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 blah. So it gives me some kind of thing to go off of rather than just word vomit, stream of consciousness, bleh, on the page. There is a certain charm to that, but yeah, I want to keep it a bit more structured. So I'm going to test this out, see how it goes. And that finally brings us to June, and I actually decided to do a cover page. I wanted to include what books I started reading in previous month, so May. I made this like music player looking spread, and so it has this, June, and the music player stuff, and up next, which is going to be their books, basically the books I'm going to be finishing next, is The Hobbit, and then this book called If You're Reading This, I'm Already Dead. Those are the 2 books I'm bringing into June, so I'm gonna quickly do this. Oh, by the way, this artist is bookish, I believe. So yeah, they make super cute stationery stickers and stuff, so I would highly recommend. Like, look how cute this is. Oh my gosh, I love it. Put it right here. That is it for me. I look forward to seeing everyone for my next video, and yeah, I'll let you know how my reading journal journey, that's a lot of j sounds, I'll let everyone know how my reading journal journey is going.